know that the people who view my videos are like ride or die. They're people who are just, they're interested. The beautiful thing about the world is that God has this. God got this in this world. That's the excellent thing about the world. The Lord God Almighty got it. You know what I mean? So therefore, as Christians, we need to constantly sober ourselves to remember that narrow is the road that leads to life, and few they be that find it. That in the last days, people are going to gather for themselves a great number of teachers to teach them what their itching ears want to hear. They will not be able to endure sound doctrine, but that the Lord is going to hook up a remnant, a small little number, and cater to them, lead them out. My sheep hear my voice, and I'll lead them out. He's going to lead them out, and he's going to give them instruction, direction as to who to listen to, who to watch. If they will humble themselves, incline their ear to his wisdom, basically seek the Lord's face to help them conquer heresy.
Hello, please like, please comment, please share and share and share and share, and then please subscribe. Thanks!
Hi, in the name of Christ, how you doing? It's your girl, Cranky. I hope you're good. I have been better. It is Sunday, I think the 26th of June, but if it's not the 26th, you can validate what the date is by simply checking what Sunday the 20-something of June falls on, or what the date is. Anyway, there's a power cut. It like went off at 1600 hours, and it's going to last until 1800 hours. My brain is a little bit mushy, but I've got like some stuff on my mind, man, and I need to talk about it. So how you doing in Christ's name? Today is day, I believe, 7 or 6 of my fast that ends on the 10th of July, and I'm gonna get what I need to get out. I hate coming looking like this because it's pajama vibes. It's not okay. I haven't bathed or anything, and I don't know, I don't like it, you know what I mean? Anyway, so y'all, I have problems. So I've got acne right there, and it's really bothering me handsomely. I've got these dark spots. My hair is a royal mess. I spoke about that yesterday. It's like I've got a mop on my head and I don't have time to take it out. It's grown out so much that I can't even hide the growth at the back where the hair fills up the situation. I am, however, looking forward to one particular thing. Taking my hair down and seeing how much my hair has grown, because I really want my hair to grow. I want my afro to come back. You know, I had this like big mane once, and I got thrown into persecution. As a result, I lost it. But now I know how to take care of my own hair. At least I know how to install fake hair so that my real hair underneath can grow uninterrupted. And that is what I want to talk about. You know what I mean? I want to talk about the hiddenness of God's daughters. And even though we are struggling something handsome, we're nonetheless growing. What did I want to say? I'm in a car, even because my phone got a charge, you know what I mean? It was dead, so now it's like being charged. I am backlogged. I am so backlogged that I don't know whether I'm coming or going. The reason I'm backlogged is because the amount of time that I'm putting in my edits these days is just out of this world. I work until the wee hours of the morning, and then I sleep, and when I wake up, some of the day is progressed. And then I try to see if I can't keep working, and then there's a power cut like this one. So I have come up with an idea, because that's what Jesus does. When people are going through it, he gives them ideas. You know what I mean? He says, hey, you there over there, here's an idea. And I catch it and I run with it, and then we're like, good. My coffee over here has sunflower seeds in it. They don't count as food. It's all I eat. And these sunflower seeds, alongside everything else that's in my coffee, there's moringa, there's cinnamon, There is, oh goodness, like Kick It, ginger, and all that jazz, cayenne pepper. That stuff contributes to my hair growth alongside the other drinks that I take that have other things in it, like linseed powder, blah blah. Contributes to my hair growth. Can't tell you by how much. Oh, there's also fenugreek seeds in my drinks that I take daily. Fenugreek, when it comes to hair growth, is here. Alright. Y'all know I'm gonna get to the points. Okay, let's just hope I don't run out of space because I couldn't transfer my content before the power cuts. Okay. Gaze upon my acne. Do it. My dark spots. These issues that I am facing right this present moment are extreme. They're extreme. They're bad. They make me want to die. But you know what? I live. You know why I live? Because I develop an immunity. I evolve. I grow past the random grain of whateverness that's slapping everybody out in these streets silly. Because in the kingdom of heaven, we slap things silly that slap everybody else silly. Hey, we kick that which kicks everybody else. We destroy that which destroys everybody else. And my hair is a destroyer. The glory of a woman is in her hair. I know I'm all over the show, but I'm just about to get to a point. I realize that my audience is very tiny. I have my loyal people. I'm pretty sure of it. My views on the daily. Yes, that was a high note. Whether or not you agree. Okay. My views on the daily are pretty similar. Like, they're literally very similar. As when I upload, there are about 2 people or 3 that immediately look at my work. Like, immediately. It's like they've got notification bells that go quing quing. Kura Zai Zai has uploaded. Okay. Yeah, I've got my 2 or 3 like instant checkers out. Like, irrespective of what time of day it is, it tells me, because my uploads tend to happen in the in funny hours of South African morning. So it tells me that the people who check out my content immediately are not in my country, because don't you sleep? Like, isn't it what's going on? They're not in South Africa, but then over the days, like the next day or 2, after uploading my work, I will then get another like 25 to 30 people. Let's just say 20 to 30 people. So my views pretty much stagnate after uploading them, anywhere from 20 to 30 to 40. And I am pretty certain that these 40 people that look at my work are my subscribers. They are my followers, like people who want to hear what in the world is going on with this woman's story. Because when I go to the Tube Machine's analytics, you know what I mean? The Tube Machine, I would imagine you understand, means YouTube Machine. A. The Tube Machine analytics page tells me that my click-through rate is basically just ridiculous. It's like, whatever. And what a click-through rate is basically how many people, based on the recommendation page of the Tube Machine, click on your stuff, right? Your click-through rate is how many people look at you based on YouTube's recommendation. So complete strangers that don't know what's going on, hovering over your thumbnail, they're not like, I want to see what she has to say. My click-through rate is low. It's really low. It's hovering in the decimal points, like 0 point something. So basically nobody really looks at my work based on my thumbnail, based on my title, based on nothing. Like, yeah, I am not getting clicked on because of people wanting to see what's happening. They don't know me. So all the views I get are coming from people who deliberately come to my channel to see what I've uploaded. Have I uploaded anything today? What have I said today? What's going on today? Right? And these numbers grow gradually as the day progresses, as the days progress, and they literally freeze and stop after 2 days. They stop growing. They stop growing after 2 days. So if after 2 days I am still sitting in like the single digits, like 9-8 views. I'm like, oh my goodness, wow, maybe my topic was not interesting enough. I don't know, right? That is what's good. So I feel happy to rock up every day and basically give lectures to, it's almost like I have a class of students that I know by name. Like, you are John, you are Jesse, you are Renelwe, and you are Tshepang. How are you doing today, Renelwe, John, and Jesse? And Tshepang. I know that my class, my lecture hall, basically, is, it's pretty set in stone. I know who exactly are my students. Well, not exactly by name, but I do know that the people who view my videos, are like ride or die. They are people who are just, they're interested. The beautiful thing about the world is that God has this. God got this in this world. That's the excellent thing about the world. The Lord God Almighty got it. You know what I mean? So therefore, as Christians, we need to constantly sober ourselves to remember that narrow is the road that leads to life, and few there be that find it. That in the last days, people are going to gather for themselves a great number of teachers to teach them what their itching ears want to hear. They will not be able to endure sound doctrine. But that the Lord is going to hook up a remnant, like a small little number, and cater to them and lead them out. My sheep hear my voice, and I'll lead them out. He's going to lead them out, and he's going to give them instruction, direction as to who to listen to, who to watch. If they will humble themselves, incline their ear to his wisdom, basically seek the Lord's face to help them conquer heresy, and also lead them to still waters, where it is that they need understanding. Not every Christian has something to say that is relevant to the next man on the street. So if there is a thing that is spoken by someone that you need to hear, the Lord will then be faithful to guide you to that place. Seek and you will find. So the challenges that I am facing right now, there is a market. There are people that want to hear what in the world is going on. How is this woman going to get out of this? And I perhaps potentially might also be going through the same thing. I have a small class. I don't have hundreds of people. I don't have thousands of people. I do not have hundreds of thousands of people. I literally only have tens of people that watch me, and they are consistent. They come back and they look. My work is wordy. My work is lots. Like, I have lots of long, big, chunky videos. And I've been smart enough to break them up into 3 parts or 2 parts, depending on the duration. And the thing about breaking them down into 3 parts, I have listened to my work. Like, there was a day when I clicked on a part 2 of some video that I did without even listening to the part 1. And I was pleasantly surprised to realize that it is possible to consume part 2 on its own without listening to part 1 or 3, because whatever I say in each part is it's equally inspiring or equally edifying, to a point where even though you don't have the background of part 2, you can still be able to carry on from where you left off with part 1. Sorry, you can still be able to carry on from where you left off with part 2. So basically, what I realized God has given me grace to be is like a show on television that you did not quite watch season 1 of, and you only bandwagoned in season 3. And yet you know exactly what's going on, even though you started watching from season 3. Meaning that there is relevance from point 0 of the conversation to point end. And that relevance is what it is that is going to keep me with some kind of a faithful audience. It is very difficult when you are on YouTube. My cat's fighting a dog. Anyway, it is very difficult when you look on YouTube to see people's numbers, okay? And then look at your own and realize that you're going nowhere. Realize that nobody is looking at you, but you constantly have to sober yourself as a Christian to realize that heaven rejoices when even one sinner repents. So if you've got a faithful audience of about 30 people that really are following you, you've got support of about 30 people, and so therefore likely the prayers of 30 people, 20 people. there is an interest, but it's coming from subscribers or followers. It's likely subscribers, but like I said, there are 2 people, more or less, that immediately check out my stuff. Like within the first hour of upload, I refresh my page and I've got like these 2 views, right? And then over the course of the day, my views will climb, and then people, based on the length of the video, perhaps my introduction of it, they'll then, like, retention is very low. They will click on it and get out as soon as they are on there. And that's probably why my numbers decline as soon as a couple of days has progressed, and then they balance out to 30 views. I've accepted it, I've taken it in my stride, and for me it's like, it's hard to work with no reward. It's absolutely difficult to work with no reward, but there is reward. If you have got 30 students in your lecture hall, even though you're supposed to have 10,000, some of them tuning in even via satellite, goodness gracious, you're doing a job. The harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. We need to care enough for souls to continue to feed them. I realize that the audience that comes and listens to me are content to go from point 0 of my video all the way to point 2 hours, 2.5 hours, however long I've spoken to, meaning they're hungry. I remember when I was new in the faith, I was famished. I was entirely famished, and so I would click on sermons and I would listen all the way to the end, no matter who it is that I'm listening to, if at all they were edifying. There are these voiceover sermons called the Puritan sermons on YouTube that don't get very easily they don't get frequented by people because, 1, it's a voiceover, 2, it's Puritans, they're from back in the day, and they're not itching anybody's ears, they're not scratching anybody's itching ears. But I used to listen to them from the beginning all the way to the end. I would get dressed in the morning listening to a sermon. After work I would listen to a sermon, a couple of them, etc., and that's how I got edified. I grew. So the Lord will bless whoever it is that is happy to listen to what is sound and what is given his servant in order to share with them. He will be happy to bless them with understanding and wisdom insofar as they realize that he goes against the grain of this world, and so we should strive to also go against the grain of this world. To water down my work, therefore, and change my tone of speaking or the content that I have to deliver and all that jazz is not going to benefit the ride or die subscribers, the people that they're not even so much here to support me as they are to find healing. They are obviously stricken by my work. They're touched by it because there's something that perhaps I'm going through or that they can relate to in my story that's really helping them. And for those reasons, I am like a warm blanket in winter to them. I am a small little heater in a hall, like a massive hall. And so it's not really doing very much, this heater, but it is preventing them from catching hypothermia. They're still kind of cold, but I help them feel better in their bad state. I help myself feel better. I am finding difficulty relating with anybody or anybody relating with me because this world is so different from how it is that I'm walking around. But I nonetheless find comfort in people who are able to speak to my situation without compromising themselves, without feeling like they have to cut down, without feeling like they have to impress an ornate audience. I know that this audience is ride or die and faithful to me. You know why? Because whenever I upload TikToks, like my TikTok uploads, I tend to upload a lot at a time because I record a lot at a time, and I'm more interested in YouTube than I am in TikTok. Right? Because YouTube gives me a platform to speak my mind, all of it, while TikTok tells me, be brief, be succinct. So when I upload TikToks, I tend to make them a compilation. So a bunch of TikToks that I put in one video, then I put it on YouTube, so that I don't put a whole bunch of random videos on YouTube because they don't do well. My TikTok videos do not do well on YouTube. Well for me is that 30 plus some audience. That as well. That's what makes sense for me. Those are the people to whom I'm faithful that also are faithful to me. Woo! Delicious. Those are the people to whom I'm faithful that are also faithful to me. And these individuals, whenever I upload a TikTok compilation that's like 5 minutes long, made up of like a couple of 30-second TikTok videos, or that's like the last night one was 15 minutes long, and it was made up of a few TikToks, right? Even those two people that are the first ones to look at my videos, they don't even click on them straight away. Like within the hour, I don't find them anywhere. They don't click readily on my TikToks. They don't, because my TikToks are short. I'm busy being lighthearted, giving the gospel in 5 seconds, as if though you can do that. Basically feeding a microwave generation of like instant gratification desiring babies that just want the gospel real fast so they can go and do what they want to do already. And so because they understand, based even on my title, that this is a TikTok compilation and not one of those wordy like chats that I have because of what Christ, like speaking about what Christ is showing me, etc. That situation over there, that's like walking at a sister on some guang, 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 right? They don't click on it that quickly because they understand that I'm feeding something that's not what they are hungry for. And that's why it takes me forever and a day to do TikToks. And that's why when I do upload TikToks, it's like literally a whole bunch, a batch that it took me forever to edit because I have to edit them. The thing about these TikToks, unlike these chats here, I have to be careful if at all I'm going to be getting viewed to take out pauses, click. Like the edits can take me longer for TikToks than for my big chunky videos, because of how much I have to watch the entire video, click, remove things, add things, put in like little memes and gifs and whatnot, and by the time I'm done, it's like I could have edited 2, maybe 1 of my videos, the lengthier ones, gotten that out the way in the time that it took me to do this TikTok compilation. So they take up a lot of my time and they have very little impact. They do have a little impact, but my intention with continuing to do them is to bring people to my YouTube page, basically, right? So I have to keep doing them, but really I do them every couple of days and not daily, like the way that I'm trying to do YouTube, which is what is bringing me then to this place. I am concerned about the fact that I am not uploading every single day on YouTube anymore. I am entirely concerned. And the reason why I'm not uploading every day is because, yes, South Africa is ridiculous. I can't stand this place. I want to leave. The power cuts that interrupt me. I don't have a laptop, so I can't continue to edit when there's a power cut. Right now, I'm chatting in my car to pass time, hoping that I'm not going to have a desire to come back later and talk about what I need to talk about because I will have gotten it out of the way now. This is the time when I would have done my edits and and I'm trying to improve the quality of my work, and so it takes a lot longer to publish and all that jazz. So I find myself unable to do daily uploads, and that is my thing. It's what I want to do. I chat on the daily, but I'm not uploading daily. And so if I upload every second day, but still do the videos every day, I'm eventually going to be backlogged by a month. It's going to just continue to grow. So I sought the Lord for a strategy. I sought Christ's face for a strategy because I realized that there are hungry people that in the interest of either doing TikToks or doing edits perfectly or doing whatever are waiting for like what's next, what's coming tomorrow, and they're not getting it fast enough. And I'm also not getting them to hear me fast enough because everybody here has an urgency. I have an urgency. They have an urgency. And when they hear in real time, I get to be prayed for in real time by my ride or die in light of what it is that is the content that I shared last time. I get prayed for because they pray for themselves and then for me too. I am in concert with them in fasting. I'm on a 21-day fast right now. And if I don't upload my stuff in real time, whatever's sitting on my heart today, it's going to take, 3 days for me to get to it being prayed for while I'm praying for it today. That is dangerous for me personally. And it is also not so safe for those who are faithful to watch what's going on. They're not interested in my TikToks. When I put my compilation, it does not do well. It does not get even to 10 views. Like, literally, my TikTok compilations on YouTube sometimes hover like at 4, 3, 5 views, right? And whoever it is that checks them out, they have high click-through rates. Well, high is an overstatement. I'm sorry, no, it's not a high click. They tend to have higher click-through rates than my longer videos because they're short. Strangers out there that have itching ears click on it readily, and so they kind of watch them either from the beginning to the end, or they click off after 5 seconds or whatever. It doesn't matter. But those short little TikTok videos have a higher click-through rate than my big fat long ones. People who are microwave babies. They just really quickly want to click on something very short on YouTube. They click on them. But the retention rate is not very high, so my numbers go down again after they click on them. And they stay on like the single digits. 5, 4, whatever. Meaning that the audience that is getting edified, that is made to be soothed in their heart concerning whatever it is that I have to speak when I'm having these lengthy sessions, sometimes don't even click on them at all. They're like, I'll wait for whatever Garawa has to say. It's like they're freezing. Wherever they're at, they're cold. And then in comes this TikTok, and it's like another ice cube dropped on the floor, making their lives cold. It's not enough to make them feel better. They want more. They want meat. They don't want the spiritual milk anymore. So I realized that I cannot abandon those guys. I have to be more focused on those guys because they are who it is that I am presently working for. I'm working for those souls. Those are my assignment. Those are who it is that God has given me to like love. Those are the ones that God is wanting to heal through my testimony and my witness. They can relate with me. And so I need to be faithful to them. Those 30-some people that consistently rock up, and I know that they're not coming to me because of clickbait or my thumbnail or whatever. They're coming to me because they want to hear everything that God is sharing. The stories that I tell, blah, blah, all that jazz. So what to do? Do I reduce my video quality again? Do I reduce my editing quality again? Do I go back to just plonking the whole big fat chunky unedited uncut content just for the sake of posting real time? I can't do that. Because at the end of the day, I am building a YouTube channel. And I am building an audience. And I am building a faithful follower base. I am building those people that have notification bells for my work, or they deliberately come to my channel every couple of days, every single day to check if I've put anything new. And they are also watching me grow. They're watching probably their prayers get answered. God, please help her come out. Help her get her channel back. Help her grow. Help her, you know what I mean? Like, they are noticing improvements from what the Lord is showing me in my content. Every day I rock up and there is a new thing that has changed. And a new thing that has changed, I am obviously panel beating. I'm doing some kind of refurbishment in the house. And even though the product is not finished yet, people can see that, today there's new cupboards. Yeah, she removed this particular like flyaway, blah, 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 etc. And it is edifying to them. It is aiding to them. And it is making them feel like, one, their prayers are being heard. And secondly, they are also being hooked. They are being catered to by the effort that I am putting in. Because my videos are a lot better now to listen to than they were before. For those reasons. I used to speed edit my work because they can be so long, my videos. So I would add a small little speed edit to make it, as opposed to just 1 times, make it 1.2 times. So it'll be a little bit faster, my voice, when I speak. But I already speak relatively fast when I'm rambling, right? I already speak kind of fast when I am rambling without the speed edit, although there are parts where I'm speaking and I'm not so fast, right? And in the parts where I speak really fast and I'm rambling because there's a lot of ideas coming out of my mind coming out, even I struggle to catch on or understand what in the world is going on. Like, what have I just said? What have I just said? What have I just said? So I made a decision to stop speed editing my work and just leave it at the normal pace that it is, and chop it up into however many parts I need to chop it up. If I end up talking for 3 hours, then I'll chop it up into 4 parts so that they are all, I'm trying to do all under 45 minutes, but every so often I can't, because you can't overplan in that regard, because I chop the work up only after I have spoken. It's not like I deliberately pause and then move on, pause and then move on. I don't do that. I have decided that I'm not going to do that anymore, for the sake of people who might get frustrated with how fast I'm speaking and then click off, if they will get edified because they can't gauge or comprehend what in the world I said. Plus, the stuff I'm saying is very deep, it's extreme, and so the extremity of it means that I can't rush through anything. So I have kept everything the way that it is, and I'm only just chopping it up. I therefore cannot, for the life of me, leave anything out. I can't for the life of me but speed up my work. I cannot for the life of me stop editing, because people are getting blessed by that. If I go back and I revert to just blonking unedited, uncut content, it's not going to do anything, especially considering I'm not even fast tracking it. I cannot. Meaning that I have to still invest in these edits. Meaning that I have to still continue to grow as I want to grow. Adding my little memes, creating them, my voiceovers and whatnot. I have to keep on doing that. And even if my numbers do not grow, it really pleases me and makes me feel better that there are people, a small little number that come faithfully to a point where I can trust that my video will, at a minimum, by the time everything closes up, have about 20 views. I'm rocking up and I'm giving a lecture to 20 people, and they are ride or die. They have subscribed. They've got bell notifications. They want to know what's going on. And so they are chosen by God to hear what I have to say. Whatever it is that might be my calling, I am fulfilling it in their lives. What these people represent, these small number that will definitely come to me within 2 days, who come and they check out my work. They represent a remnant, like the first fruit that are planted in order to bring about a greater harvest. They tell me that once the Lord has seen it fit to burst the vats and open the floodgates for my redemption from this situation, that I will, due to being faithful to sticking to the guns that Christ has given me, I will have a faithful followership. How do I describe what's going on here so you can understand the miraculous nature of it? I apologize for this delay. The sun is busy setting. I really hope that by the time I'm done talking here, power will be restored, man. Like, South Africa is ridiculous. This is what's going on. Alright. I hate that delay, but there's nothing I can do, man. Because I don't want to move my phone, because then it's gonna... Oh, man. Oh my goodness. Like, I had such a difficult struggle just trying to get, myself back here again. This glare that's over here, that is the bane of my existence. That's what I'm trying to avert. But really, since my audience appears to be faithful, I shouldn't even care, because they probably won't even care. I want to hide it, but I mean, really, right? What are we doing? Okay, let's move the car to where it is that they tend to park it. Okay, so I'm moving the vehicle. Where's the car keys? Oh, they're plugged in. This coffee is gonna spill. I need to drive really slowly. I'm only parking in the complex. Another unit that has granted us permission. Guys, you know what? These are the things that I'm challenged by. I don't have a stand to record on in the car. I have nothing. I have absolutely no resources. But I make do with what I have, because I trust God to aid me one day with all the things I need. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. Hey, what's up? Having moved to another place, look, the quality is better. So that was a blessing in disguise. The petition to move the car. Anyway, but the sun is setting, so things are about to get real fast. Bad. So I need to just get this point out of the way. This is what I wanted to say. This is what God is doing for me. So you can be inspired to not give up hope when you're watching me and you're feeling sad but why is nobody listening? Her content is so edifying. She's going through so much. She needs help. I am getting help. The Lord has me. He knit me together in my mother's womb. And so I'm going to be okay. So I'm going to be all right. Okay? Yeah. I have a consistent viewership right now from faithful people. These individuals have put bell notifications on their on my channel, and they are getting my views, my videos, and they are watching them at the time that they have the leisure to do so. They're also watching them through at their pace. It's so satisfying to me. My heart feels so good when my first video, the part 1, grows to that 20, to that 20 number, or that what do you call it? That 13 number. While my part 2 and my part 3 are still low, and then I watch. I don't know, for whatever reason they hop into part 3 first, before part 2. And then I start to watch as the day progresses, the day that the hours progress, part 3 growing. And no, part 2 growing. And then start to watch part 2 growing. Gradually, and growing and growing and growing. It's the most amazing thing to watch, right? And then, those that have been super duper edified, then they, after like the last few hours, I told you that like after like 2 days, my stuff just kind of stays stagnant at one particular place. After these 2 or 3 days, I then watch part 3 grow. So what they're doing is basically watching part 1. Then the next day or a couple of hours later, they watch part 2. And then they come back and they watch part 3. And so they grow incrementally, like in a cascade. They cascade downward, or they grow up some kind of a steady incline. And for me, it's like, what goes on in my mind is, oh my goodness, somebody watched part 2 all the way to the end and they clicked on my end screen to get to part 3. Somebody watched part 2 and they clicked on my end screen to get to part 3, or they came to my page and they clicked on part 3 because now they were ready and they grabbed themselves some tea and some popcorn or whatever, and they watched part 3. It makes me feel so good to watch them grow like that. It really makes me feel really good to watch them grow like that. And so with this faithful audience, what God is showing me, this morning I was feeling so disheartened and so disquieted when I woke up, because my heart was broken, and I'm like, Father, but I worked so hard with no reward. I worked so hard with no reward. I worked so hard with no reward. And I woke up to hear from the Spirit, I knit you together in your mother's womb. I knit you together in your mother's womb. So my favorite psalm in the world, Psalm 139, God was quoting it to me. And in quoting Psalm 139, he was basically saying, I am doing something here, don't you worry. So I was like, what then, Father in heaven, are you doing? Because my heart is breaking and I'm busy being made to speak to this prodigal son guy and do these things. And it's hurting me because I don't want to carry on like this because I feel like I'm wasting my time. You know what I mean? On this person. And the Lord was like, just you watch, just you wait, just see what in the world I'm doing for you. So in then questioning what is happening, give me some kind of a quick win to gauge rightly what's going on. He then brought me here to speak about this, to encourage you too, that you might understand why sometimes it appears as if though God is not here and he's taking his merry time to do things, and you are already languishing, you're really just going through it, and it's too taxing for you. Here is what God is doing for my channel. Here's what God is doing for my channel, so you can understand that I'm not forsaken, neither left, right? The thing about YouTube is that if people come to your channel because of click-through rates, like people see a thumbnail or they see a recommendation from their page on Twitter or whatever, they might come in and then be like, whatever, no, I'm not interested, right? And or they might come in because they are interested, which is why my TikTok videos are not doing so well. God is not pushing them as well, right? The compilation that I do, because people might be interested in something through a thumbnail or a video on a recommendation screen that YouTube is happy to proliferate. And listen to the end. Listen all the way to the end. Catching the bandwagon just 5 seconds into the whole equation, right? And then be entertained, if you want to use that word, by that video. But then not subscribe or not want to come back or not be interested. What God is doing for me is causing people to be like, oh my goodness. And then they go down to my videos. They catch wind of my story, who I am, what I'm here, what content I share, what niche I'm trying to reach. And upon being edified by one particular video, if they feel like, what have I found here? It's a gem. Oh my goodness. Then they will likely go to my page, my YouTube account channel page, and scroll back. That's how I have found many of the people that I follow on YouTube, and I have stuck to them. I'll give you an example. There's this one guy who does end times prophecy by the name of The Watchman. He came recommended in my YouTube page some years ago, right? And I clicked on it because, let's see what he has to say about the end of days. And after watching just one of his videos, I kid you not, I went, you know how with a person's channel, you can scroll back to see where they began and to read titles to see if you click on it. I started doing that. And I started clicking on that. And then it moves, and then watching all of it, following which I would then watch the next one, following which I would literally, like, I would backspace from that, go into his page, go back again, and literally carry on from where I left off to a point. It's like watching a series, catching up, binging on Netflix. And I found myself consuming this man's work once upon a time all day, just watching his videos. And when I got to the finally to the last one that was uploaded recently, I was like, oh, because he was just so edifying. His work was so good. And I felt in my heart like, ooh, this man, God has anointed him so richly. The work he does, I remember just thinking, he works so hard for the kingdom of heaven. He has invested so much of himself in the kingdom of heaven. I mean, he puts these clips together of news events across the world. So I imagine him literally sitting in front of his television set, shuffling through news channels just to get clips, or YouTube, right? Just to get clips to cover world events and a lot of Bible prophecy, and that amount of hard work. When I look at it, I'm like, what a servant. What a servant of God. And so I ended up so I don't even have notification bells, by the way, for his work. The way that he comes so recommended to me, as soon as his stuff comes on, I have subscribed to him, but I don't have notification bells. I have him as a subscriber. So on that subscriber panel where you have all the people to whom you have subscribed on the left of your YouTube page, if you are using a computer, a PC, I click on him to see if he's brought anything new, if he has uploaded any new content. What does he have to say? And then I watch. Sometimes I could go like a couple of days without watching him, but then I would remember that, oh my goodness, no, the Watchman, like, I have to hear what he has to say, because he covers world events really, really well. And I would go back and binge for the day. That man, the Watchman, has got 350 something subscribers, but his work consistently, every single time he uploads, consistently, like by the time a week has progressed from his last upload, has about 30,000 views, 30 to 45,000 views, even though he's got 350 something subscribers. So God showed me that I'm doing for you what I did for my servant, the Watchman. The world has got these itching ears, and so every so often people come to you and they subscribe. They come to you and they follow. What is this? They watch a video of yours from beginning to end. And they're like, interesting. But because people get dragged away, according to the Lord's word, the parable of the sower, there are people that when you plant seed in them, they initially get excited for the word of God, and then the devil comes and steals the word away. And so they fall away from ever loving Christ. The second group of people appear to be happy for Jesus, but as soon as persecution hits them, they fall away. The third group, they appear to be happy for Jesus, but they're too concerned about the cares of this world, their jobs, their money, their this, their that, their children, their soccer balls, and in so being interested in all of these things, don't really truly give their lives over to Christ in a way that pleases him. You know, there is a holiness without which no one can see God. And then there is the fourth category of guys who bear fruit 30-fold over, 100-fold over, 10-fold over. These are the guys that when the seed is planted, it takes root and they stay. They make up a quarter, or at least they are one category within this parable of the sower. Those are the guys that Christ is working on, and they are few in number. Narrow is the road that leads to life, and few there be that find it. So you will find in Christian channels where there are like hundreds of thousands of subscribers on one channel, because somebody who clicked on the word of God in these servants of the Lord was excited briefly. Some of these people hear the word and then they forget about it tomorrow. So even though they've subscribed, they disappear altogether. And then the other people stick to you and they're so encouraged by your work, and then something in their personal life slaps them upside the head and then they fall away, or they get disrupted by life events and then they fall away. But then there are the karabos to the Watchman, who years down the line are still coming back to like go back all old work, click until you see everything get edified, get moved, get churned, and all that jazz. They're the guys that will bear 100-fold over, 30-fold over, 60-fold over. So the Lord is basically showing me that I'm going to grow your channel the way that I grow my faithful servants channels on YouTube, because I want them to stick to their guns. I want the Watchman, for instance, his channel is not monetized. He cannot monetize because he uses a lot of copywritten content, and on top of that, he's taboo. He speaks very candidly against the LGBTQIA community, against the vaccine, all these things that get cancelled. His channel has been put at risk multiple times before. So when YouTube strikes down your channel for speaking against these things, you can't monetize, even if you've got 350 something subscribers. That is the Watchman. So he relies on donations. If at all, people will give him donations, and he is so faithful to working for Christ, even though his channel is not monetized, that for me, it's just, I am so shocked. His videos have absolutely no adverts in them. So he's not earning ad revenue, and he's not interested in it. He just is giving the gospel. He is so faithful. He is so faithful. He's such an inspiration. Please go check him out. It's the Watchman. His channel is like orangish in color and black, and and it's got this Watchman with like a horn that is blowing, like, the Watchman in Israel type thing. Go check him. The guy is excellent. He's through the roof, right? And he's also really super faithful, and he's really hardworking. And I always ask myself, Father, why does he only have 40,000 views per video maximum when he's got 350 something subscribers? And on top of that, his work is so edifying. For me, it's like, who ignores this guy? Like, why per video does he not get like hundreds of thousands of views? Not only that, does this guy struggle to get all of those hundreds and thousands of views, but there's something else that's just like messing with my mind. It's escaping me. He doesn't get those hundreds of thousands of views, even though his work is super duper good. Oh yes, he also uploads almost daily. I mean, the amount of work that is required for him to do those videos. He does a voiceover, so you don't really see his face. You don't at all see his face. And his work in the background, like these world events, he is so on the ball. He is sharp, right? He is on the ball, and he does this every day. Guys, I edit videos. One edit takes so long. Oh my goodness. And this guy's work is like precise, right? The precision, the bullseyes that he hits are through the roof. And the information that he finds is like, where did you find this? And yet he does it daily. Every day this man does this. I would imagine that with that kind of amount of work that he puts in, if he does have a 9 to 5, he does nothing but his 9 to 5 and that. Like, he doesn't have much time for anything else. It is so much work that he would probably have to put in all this time into his ministry on YouTube for a 9 to 5, for a job, and yet his channel is not monetized. So basically, he's just like somebody who's walking on water. His faithfulness is, for me, I can't get it. Like, it's out of this world. He is such an inspiration. He's such an inspiration. Like, literally, if you can use anyone, Lord, you can use me. That's what the Watchman has said to Jesus. And the Lord has used him. So why does his work get only 40,000 views, even though he's got these 350 some subscribers? This is what Christ is showing me. Because of his subscriber numbers, people come to him. They click on him. People have this thing that they do where they underestimate a channel because of how low the subscriber numbers are. But if the subscriber number is high, they're more likely to hang 10. So Christ is hooking the faithful with his subscriber numbers. But the subscriber numbers, some of these subscribers have fallen away. Some of them don't even watch him anymore. Some of them subscribed to him 2, 3, 5 years ago, and they no longer even come back to check out his content. They're living worldly lifestyles. They don't care, but they aid in hooking people like me. They aid in hooking people like me. And so once people like me come in, they then are the ones that give the Watchman those 40,000 views, those 30,000 views. They're the faithful. They're the 30, 60, 100-fold over. The Bible is clear that narrow is the road that leads to life, and few there be that find it. And so therefore, even with a channel on YouTube that has got 500,000 subscribers, if it's a Christian channel, there will be few people that actually click on this channel that have found the path of life. Meaning that the return viewers, the return viewers will be among those few there be that find. And that's why you find a person with a channel that has got 40,000 subscribers only getting viewed 1,000, 4,000, 5,000 times per video. The Lord is granting faithful souls to his servants. He is giving the status of lecturer, teacher, basically, university professor to his servants on YouTube. And if you are a student in university, you go first year. But if you are sick and tired of what you're studying or you're lazy, you will drop out. But the lecturer gets to know by name, do they not? But the students that get to third year, do they not? The students that he has seen in first year, sitting in that crowded lecture hall filled of these children that are going to fall off, many of them. And then in second year, he starts to recognize faces. He starts to know names. He doesn't say you there, you there, you there. Now it becomes John, Paul, and Peter. And in third year, then he knows everyone in the class because it's a handful. And these are the guys that go on to do their postgraduates. And he gives them recommendations. When they want to work in corporate, he writes them referral letters and all that jazz. Hey, are you feeling reached by my content on YouTube? If so, you might be interested in checking out my tweets as well, alongside reading my content on my WordPress account, alongside checking out my shorts on TikTok. They're all in the description box below. Please enjoy the next coming content. Bye. After the other, because they're that thirsty and hungry. Because apparently what I'm covering is relevant to so many people that they are curious to know what in the world is going down. This conversation about the prodigal son, I've been wanting to throw in the towel on it, but the Lord has told me, you will see what I'm doing. Like, he's basically just said to me, you'll see. All he has said is, you will see.
Don't forget to like, comment, share, and finally subscribe. Bye, guys.